Homeless, 13-year-old twin boys sing in the bus for food, unaware the man crying is their father. Yeah, I'm almost there. Nathan glanced at his phone, speaking quickly into the headset as he navigated the busy interstate. Make sure. Everything's set for the pitch. We can't afford any delays today. His assistant's voice buzzed back with a steady, "Got it, boss." Nathan ended the call, eyes focused on the road ahead. Suddenly his car coughed, then sputtered, grinding to a halt right in the middle of traffic. No, 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 he muttered, frustration tightening his jaw. Cars behind him began honking relentlessly. Move it, man, the cars are backing up, yelled a sharp voice from an angry driver nearby. Nathan climbed out, peered under the hood, and sighed. Engine's dead. Sorry, folks. The rush hour chaos swirled around him. Impatient drivers yelling, brakes screeching, horns blaring. Seriously? Stuck right here? One man shouted. Nice wheels, but what good is it if it breaks down? Another sneered. Before tensions escalated, a couple of truck drivers pulled over and joined Nathan, helping push the car to the shoulder. One of the older men patted Nathan's shoulder. Don't sweat it, kid. Traffic's nuts today. Nathan smiled gratefully, reaching into his wallet and handing out a few bills. Thank you, one man said, eyes welling up. This'll help keep us going. Once the car was safe, Nathan called his assistant. I won't make it to the office anytime soon. You'll have to handle the board meeting. Send someone for the car, please. I'm gonna take the bus. Bus? Seriously, Nathan? His assistant sounded surprised. Yeah, I've done it before, he replied calmly, hanging up. As Nathan climbed aboard the crowded city bus, all eyes turned to the man in a crisp suit, among the regular commuters. An elderly woman smiled warmly. Aren't you hot in that outfit? Not at all, thank you, Nathan replied, scanning the bus. He didn't expect what was coming next. Two boys, identical twins around 13, stepped on, carrying worn backpacks. They moved through the aisle, handing out small envelopes as they started to sing. Soft, haunting voices blending into a melody about hope and survival. Passengers wiped tears away as the twins sang with raw emotion. Applause broke out as their song ended. Nathan's breath caught. That song. I know that song. The boys smiled shyly. We're not here to steal, sir. Just trying to help with a little food. Nathan's eyes narrowed, heart pounding. He looked closer. Their faces. They looked familiar. Nathan's gaze lingered on the two boys. Their ragged clothes and tired eyes told a story he wasn't ready to face just yet. He was a successful marketing executive used to boardrooms and polished presentations, but now here he was, sharing the same bus, the same air, with strangers struggling just to get by. The twins, Ethan and Logan, were no ordinary street kids. Just 13 years old, they had been forced onto the streets months ago after losing their home. Their mother had passed away unexpectedly, and their father had vanished from their lives long before. Without family or shelter, the boys had no choice but to survive however they could. Ethan was the older of the two by minutes, with sharp, determined eyes and a voice that carried strength far beyond his years. Logan, quieter and more sensitive, clung closely to his brother, drawing courage from their bond. Every day they rode this bus, hoping their songs and small envelopes would be enough to bring in a few dollars or a bit of food. Their voices carried not just melody, but the raw pain of abandonment, loneliness, and hope for a better tomorrow. Nathan watched as they moved through the bus aisle again, greeting passengers with shy smiles. Despite their hardship, the twins held on to something rare, an unbreakable spirit. This chance encounter wasn't just coincidence. Something deep inside Nathan stirred. A memory, a pang of regret he had buried for years. He wondered if fate was about to rewrite all their lives. As the bus rolled on through the city streets, the silent connection between Nathan and the twins grew heavier, charged with unspoken questions and a looming truth waiting to be uncovered. Ethan and Logan finished their song, the bus filled with quiet applause, but Nathan barely noticed the clapping. His eyes were fixed on the younger boy's face, a face that stirred something buried deep inside him. The way Logan's lip trembled when he sang the last note, the way Ethan's hand instinctively moved to steady him, it all felt painfully familiar. The bus slowed, and Nathan's heart pounded. He didn't want to believe it. Could these boys really be who he thought they were? The twins approached him cautiously, holding out an envelope, their small hands trembling slightly. "We're not just singing for fun, sir," Ethan said softly. "We need help. Food. A place to stay." "Anything." Nathan's throat tightened. He swallowed hard, suddenly unable to speak. Memories flashed. Sleepless nights, arguments with his ex, promises broken, and the moment he last saw two small boys with eyes full of hope. He realized with a crushing shock that these were his sons, the boys he had abandoned years ago when life became too hard. "Ethan? Logan?" Nathan's voice cracked, barely a whisper. The twins froze, unsure if they'd heard correctly. "I'm your father," Nathan stammered, eyes wet with tears he fought to hold back. "I never stopped looking for you." For the first time since the bus had started moving, the air shifted. Passengers turned, sensing the raw emotion in the cramped space. Ethan's eyes widened, and Logan looked at his brother, disbelief and hope mingling in his gaze. Nathan reached out slowly, afraid the moment might shatter if he moved too fast. "Can we talk? Please?" In that tiny bus, surrounded by strangers, the invisible walls between past mistakes and possible forgiveness began to crumble, marking the start of a painful but necessary reunion. The bus rattled along, but inside, time seemed to stand still. Nathan's hands shook as he reached into his coat pocket, pulling out a faded photo, a snapshot of him holding two tiny babies, their eyes bright and hopeful. He showed it to Ethan and Logan, who stared at it, their faces a mixture of confusion and longing. "I'm so sorry I wasn't there," Nathan whispered, his voice breaking. "I made mistakes. Terrible ones. But I've never stopped hoping I'd find you both again." Ethan's eyes welled up, but he blinked hard, trying to hold back the flood. Logan's small fist clenched the edge of his jacket. The boys had learned to be strong, but this moment was unraveling everything. "Why now?" Ethan finally asked, voice barely above a whisper. "After all this time?" Nathan swallowed the lump in his throat. "Because I realized I can't fix the past, but I can try to make a future. With you." The twins exchanged a glance. The weight of years lost pressed down, but the fragile hope flickered brighter than it had in a long time. Around them, passengers watched silently, some wiping tears, feeling the raw honesty of the reunion. A kind stranger reached out, offering a tissue, while an elderly woman's gentle smile said more than words ever could. Nathan took a deep breath, fighting the guilt clawing at his heart. "I know I can't ask for forgiveness yet, but I want to help. With food, shelter, everything. You shouldn't be out here like this." Ethan's lip quivered. "We didn't want to be here either. We just didn't have a choice." Logan nodded, voice trembling. "We've been waiting, hoping you'd come." Nathan's eyes burned with tears. "I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere." The bus rolled on, but inside, a fragile bridge was forming, between pain and healing, loss and hope. For the first time in years, the families shattered. Pieces began to come together, starting a journey none of them dared imagine possible before this very ride. The bus lurched forward, but inside Nathan's chest felt like it was collapsing. Memories surged in like a tidal wave. Every missed birthday, every cold night the boys had spent alone, every tear he hadn't been there to wipe away. His hands trembled uncontrollably as he reached out, gently grabbing Ethan's shoulder. "Failed you," Nathan choked out, voice thick with regret. "I should have been here. I should have protected you both." Ethan's eyes locked onto his father's, but there was no anger, only a deep, aching sadness. You weren't here. Dad, and we had to fight every day to survive. Logan's small frame shook as silent tears rolled down his cheeks. We thought you left us. Nathan's breath hitched, his heart breaking in two. I didn't leave by choice. I lost everything. My job, my home, and then I lost you. But I promise, I'll do whatever it takes to make it right. Tense silence filled the bus as the weight of Nathan's words settled in. The passengers, sensing the gravity, stayed quiet, letting the moment breathe. Then, with a heavy sigh, Nathan reached into his coat pocket again and pulled out a small, crumpled envelope. This is all I have right now, he said, voice barely audible. But I'm giving it to you. Food, shelter, anything to start over. Ethan shook his head, refusing. We don't want charity. Nathan looked each of his sons in the eye. It's not charity. It's my responsibility. You're my boys, and I'll sacrifice everything to keep you safe. Logan nodded slowly, hope flickering in his eyes. We just want to be a family again. Nathan swallowed hard, fighting back tears. Then let's do this. Together. No matter how hard it gets. As the bus rolled on through the city streets, the raw emotions inside the small space mixed with a powerful promise. Sacrifice, redemption, and the beginning of a long road toward healing. Nathan was ready to give up everything. His pride, his past, even his comfort. To reclaim the family he almost lost forever. The morning sun filtered softly through the bus windows as Nathan sat quietly beside Ethan and Logan. The weight of the night's confession still lingered, but so did a fragile hope, one that neither of them dared to fully grasp until now. Outside, the city was waking up, busy and loud. But inside this small bubble of space, something had changed. Forever. Nathan gently reached out and took Logan's hand in his own, then wrapped an arm around Ethan's shoulder. We're going to find a place to stay today, Nathan promised, voice steady but tender. Somewhere safe where you can finally be kids again. Ethan looked up, surprise flickering across his face, followed by a cautious smile. You really mean that? Nathan nodded, eyes shining. More than anything. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I'm not going to let the past keep us apart. Logan squeezed his dad's hand tightly, the tears of the past few days finally breaking free. We want to try, Dad. We want to be a family. At that moment, a soft murmur of approval rippled through the passengers on the bus. Strangers who had watched the story unfold around them now shared in the healing, their hearts moved by the raw honesty and courage. Nathan leaned forward and whispered, I'm so sorry for everything, but I promise, this is just the beginning. The twins nodded together, a silent pact forming between them, a pact of forgiveness, love, and the promise of a better tomorrow. As the bus rolled to a stop, Nathan lifted the boys off the seats and hugged them tightly, feeling a warmth he hadn't known in years. They stepped off together into a world that still held challenges, but now they faced it as one. Their journey wasn't over. But this moment, this reunion, was the first step toward healing, toward family, and toward hope. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to smash that thumbs up and hit subscribe for more unforgettable, emotional, and viral true stories. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell us, where in the world are you watching from?